Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sean. This is Sean Turns Up the Volume. And so I was just watching a clip from a YouTuber named Amala. She's got a big following, and she was talking about Mamdani, because that's the big thing in the news right now, New York voting in a socialist mayor. And she was playing these like clips of him and tweets that he's posted. And the guy has a police protection detail because of threats he receives, or at least claims to receive. And so he's in favor of the police protecting him, but he also wants to defund the police, proposes for defunding the police. He's also against the carceral system, the carceral system, as in prison. He was in, there was a clip of him she showed of him being asked about what he thinks of the prison system, and basically kind of conveying it as just like, well, people just have we just have prisons because of how it makes the rest of us feel. Like, he wants protection for himself, but he wants everybody else to not be protected. This is not like just him, because this has become a mainstream liberal left-wing stance since Black Lives Matter's protests, where these rioters attacked police stations, burned down buildings in their own communities. You know, the stance of the left became overtly anti-police, directly anti-police. Okay, so they don't want there to be police around to stop criminals, or to be able to show up to a crime scene afterward and scrape whatever is left of you off of the ground and protect you in that way, right? Because what are the odds that when a crime is going to happen that you're going to have a police officer like standing right next to you who's going to be able to respond to that? But not so good. But they want less police. They make it hard to defend yourself in liberal enclaves and liberal cities and states. They make it hard to acquire means of self-defense, of non-lethal means, tasers, pepper sprays, and things. There's all kind of regulations. Of course, they have bans on knives and other more lethal things like that, against carrying them. All kinds of places you can't carry them, even when they have to. And the Supreme Court tells them they have to get rid of their gun laws that they have. They just keep them anyway because they don't care about what the Supreme Court says if they disagree with it, and they somehow get away with that. And all kinds of course, gun restrictions, gun bans, restricting gun permits, making it really difficult, and then having all kinds of places that you can't go, so that if you were actually trying to go anywhere, like in New York City, and you were actually carrying a gun and had a permit for it, there'd be all kinds of places you wouldn't be able to go, including public transportation. Of course, they want to ban cars, make it more difficult to have car ownership, and make everything the free transportation nonsense that is government run, taxpayer paid for, and also dictate what you can, that you can't protect yourself on these things. Whereas the left goes after people for protecting themselves because they don't want their criminal constituents being harmed or killed, and the left hates consequences for things. And of course, if somebody is committing a violent crime, and loses their life for it, or is breaking into somebody's home and loses their life for it, well, that means they can't vote left anymore. Well, probably can, unless one of their family members does it anyway. So they don't want you to defend yourself. They don't want the police around to defend you. And then they're against the prison system. Then people like Mamdani are against the prison system, which is evident by what the liberal activist judges do with letting people off over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, with not giving the death penalty to people who kill not just one person, but even many people, or even brutal sorts of slayings. They just can't bring themselves to end the life of an evil, awful person who's done evil, awful things, but rather they'd rather let the worst of everyone out of prison. I mean, what do you have left? You want to send the social workers? What are you going to do with them? This is the vision of the left. No police, no prisons to put criminals in. I don't know what they're gonna. They want to ban the guns, and they do want to arrest you if you defend yourself. So somehow there would have to be some alternate system that they don't call a prison system that's for just like arresting conservatives, arresting people who defend themselves, arresting people who still have guns. Like, how does that work? How does this work? Of course, they still need a system for dealing with people who commit hate speech by telling like the truth or disagreeing with them. They want conservatives. I mean, lots of people on the left just want conservatives to be dead. They are Hitler while they project and call everybody else who disagrees with them Hitler. And so what, like, how does that work? It's like this system. It's like a two-tier, multi-tier system whereby actual criminals get let off because they're the victim class. They're part of the proletariat revolutionary, and the people who are just innocent everyday people trying to live their lives, people who want regular justice for things that are regular, like that we'd all agree upon, or at least we used to agree upon, are things that are crimes and violate the rights of others. They want those. They want the good locked up, and they want the bad to be free and free to do whatever they want. This is the vision of, like, the vision of socialist Mamdani left-wing society is actually the movies like Escape from New York and Escape from LA. They're doing it. It was ahead of it. Those Kurt Russell movies were ahead of their time. Anyway, that's just, golly, what the heck? It's beyond words. It's beyond words, but at least I can make YouTube videos talking about it. This is therapeutic. Okay, thank you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.